Should teachers be allowed to carry firearms in the classroom? That's what we're going to talk about today, folks. Let's get into it. Tennessee has recently passed a bill to allow teachers and other staff who meet certain requirements to carry firearms in the classroom. Now, there are certain stipulations to this, and we'll get into it. This bill was prompted after last year's shooting at the Covenant Christian School, in which 6 were killed, 3 adults and 3 children. So this bill was initiated and was passed, and now it moves to Governor Lee's desk for him to sign into law. So under the bill, or soon to be law, if he signs it, a teacher can voluntarily carry a gun under certain conditions. So they would have to have 40 hours of training. They would have to have a carry permit. They would also have to have approval from, of course, the superintendent of the schools, and the local police law enforcement would have to give approval as well. Now, the teachers who are carrying, their names would not be released publicly, and proponents say that it's more of a deterrent and also an immediate response, especially for those schools in the rural areas where resources are limited. So it might be more of a delay for police to get there. And of course, they have to meet the requirements of a background check. So they have to be eligible to not only possess, but also carry a handgun. They can't be subject to any of the disqualifiers, either in Tennessee or federally. Before we move on, folks, I just wanted to talk about something briefly. Have you ever Googled yourself and been surprised at how many public sites your name actually appears? In addition, have you been lately getting a lot of spam calls, so much so that you just don't even answer your phone, or you block every call that you don't recognize? Data brokers make a fortune, of course, selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who learn more about you, your name, where you work, where you live. So Aura, the sponsor of this video, can actually help stop that for you. So I'll put a link in the description of the video, also on the screen. If you click and sign up, you get a 2-week trial. They will protect you and your family from online threats that you can't see. So they do a lot of things, but one of the things is they can contact those data brokers, robocallers, and the spammers, and they can remove your information from their databases. So these companies are required by law to remove your information if you contact them. But for you to contact them, it's a pain and it can take a long time. They will contact these data brokers and get your information removed. They will monitor your credit and they will alert you to any unusual activity. So any kind of unusual spending, any kind of somebody runs your credit, they will alert you. It's pretty fast. When I was a detective working cyber crimes, we would get a lot of identity theft cases where someone would have an account created in their name. Someone would get someone's information, their name, their date of birth, social security number. They would open up a credit card account and they would make charges. The victim wouldn't even know until they went to refinance their house or apply for a loan, and they would say, what's this account that's in default? And then they would learn that somebody created this account. If you have kids, there are parental controls you can set up for your kids. They will monitor information. You can set restrictions for your kids with Aura. Aura does so much more, folks, to protect you and your family. And if you click on the link and go to the website, you'll see what I mean. So stop having your information exploited out there and used and sold and resold. Click on the link and get your 2-week trial. Some of the people that are against it are Democratic lawmakers, of course, teachers, parents, even parents of the Covenant Christian School where the shooting occurred last year. So a lot of them say that, how are law enforcement supposed to know that the teachers are the good guys? It could create confusion. And I think that there's the idea that they just don't like that people are carrying armed in schools. So my response to that would be that not only do they have to pass a background check, do they have to pass all the requirements to carry a gun, they have to take a 40-hour course, they have to be approved by the superintendent and also local law enforcement. Me personally, I'm for it, because as long as these teachers meet certain requirements, I feel like us as a society, we tend to protect our things more than we do our children. So for example, you go into a bank, you see an armed security officer. You go into a jewelry store, you see an armed security guard. You go to even Walmart during holiday season when there's a lot of shoplifting, you see armed security. And I get that a lot of it is a deterrent, but we were protecting our things more than our children. I feel like we should have armed police at every school from pre-K all the way through high school. And I get that some municipalities don't have the resources for that. So then the schools should be hiring, in my opinion, armed security to protect the kids. And in addition to that, you have teachers now in Tennessee that hopefully, with this is signed into law, will be able to carry as another not only deterrent, but also backup for if an active event happens and there's a shooter, for example, the teachers can protect the kids, because that's what it should be about, right, folks? The teachers are there, the school people are there, the school administrators, the school staff, they're there to make sure the kids are safe. And I think just like after 9/11, some of the airline pilots volunteered to carry firearms, and there was a big outcry, why should pilots be carrying guns? You know what? If you're qualified and you want to carry to protect me when I'm riding as a passenger on your plane, I'm all for it. So just wanted to put this out there, folks, and see what you think. Put in the comments, if you would, how you feel about it, what you think about it. Some parents just don't think there should be armed police or armed security or any kind of guns in school at all. I don't know why. Again, you see police out in public, you see them handling accidents, you see them coming to your house if there's an emergency. They're armed. They're armed because there are bad guys that have guns, and somebody needs to be the good guy to show up with a gun to stop the bad guy. So I don't understand this mentality of, I don't want my kid to see an armed police officer at school. I have kids in school, and there are armed police at the school resource officers assigned to the school. You get used to it. It's like if the kids aren't used to seeing police, they get used to them very quickly. The police assigned to schools are typically very much engaged in the day-to-day with the kids. They interact. It's a common thing, and it's a positive thing, in my opinion. So put your comments below if you don't mind. Let me know how you feel about this, what you think about either armed police or armed security at schools, or especially in this case, what you think about teachers being armed. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, folks, and share it with anyone you think will appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when new content is released. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.